My therapist once asked, what would a healed Nakita look like? I sat and I tried to imagine that, but how could you imagine something you've never experienced? I could only think of all the things that I felt a mess about. I have been the worst version of myself, and I'm sure I've been a bad memory and a bad impression to someone. I've made poor decisions and short-sighted judgments. I've been someone so engulfed in my insecurities and someone constantly grasping for control. Someone who was so critical of others because it was easier to focus outwards than it was inwards. Someone who couldn't spend a moment alone because it was terrifying. I've been someone who couldn't be happy for others because their success meant all the things that were wrong with me. I've seen myself mirroring the characteristics of the very person who bled their trauma onto me. I've been the bad friend, the toxic partner, the ungrateful daughter, and the disappointing sister. But I've also been really hurt and betrayed and deceived, blamed, and lonely. I suppose I was ashamed of myself. So I've been reprogramming and unlearning my relationship with shame. Shame that assumes everyone is perfect and happy but me. Shame that holds compassion and forgiveness for the growth and journeys of others but not my own. Shame that I carried for so long because I thought that somehow I was helping myself be better so that I can be lovable. Because deep down I was afraid that I wasn't lovable, and if I wasn't lovable I would be alone. And that is my deepest and greatest fear. Along the way, I started to mistake lovable for perfect, but I finally no longer idolize perfection and have traded it for progress. I can now look back and see how far I've come, how much I was just doing my best to do what I thought was right in that moment. I have always lived with my all and with good intentions in mind, and I'm just really happy that now I can finally execute them differently, more healthily, safely, from a much clearer and grounded place. That is probably freedom and happiness to me. Being grounded, present, and having an understanding and acceptance of who I am. So, to answer my therapist, I guess this is probably what a healing Nakita looks like. A Nakita that decides she doesn't want to be sad anymore. That I don't have to be ashamed for just being human, for making mistakes when I didn't know better, for not being able to keep people in my life, and for just wanting to be loved and happy and accepted. And I suppose this is what healing feels like, having moments of clarity and moments where I'm just genuinely okay and happy, not because of anyone else or what I have or what my life looks like, but for just genuinely being myself and for the love and the happiness that I have inside.